Welcome to Tech from the Trenches with Mike Harvey. I'm Mike Harvey.
Can you believe it?
In this channel, we're going to be focusing on technology, but not the way you think, not the way you may be used to hearing about it. We're going to use this channel as a forum to discuss the practical applications, uses, and impact of technology in our everyday lives, as well as in our businesses and professions. We will welcome your feedback and dialogue in order to help us focus on what is meaningful for you. We hope you enjoy it. Please press and subscribe, follow us below, and tell your friends. But don't tell them about this faux pas I had with my teleprompter, because that's just is fail. So now to the episode. As you probably heard, Elon Musk now owns Twitter, and I'd like to talk about the impact of that on us all. I'm mostly going to dispense with the conjecture about financial projections and more teleprompter issues. If you own Twitter stock when the deal was inked, you recouped some of your losses over the last year. Good for you. It'll likely get better. If you own Truth Social when the deal was announced, it's going to hurt a bit. But if you're like me and you don't own either, you don't care. For most of us, this really isn't about left and right into the tiresome virtue signaling that's taken over the political landscape of social media over the last 6+ years. It is about the freedom to believe and express those beliefs without persecution. It's about healthy debate, which is all but gone in social media today. In Musk's own words in a TED conference interview on April 14th, he basically summed up why he bought Twitter. I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech, he said. Having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. Heavy words. Taking that into account, Elon's proclivity to put his money where his mouth is means I think he really means what he's saying. And my teleprompter's screwing up again, so I'm going to have to lean in. Hi.
You did it.
I think it's safe to assume his motives here are not financial, but based on his principles and beliefs, and are strategically altruistic. So let's talk about the real impact on your life. In the next 3 months or so, previously disenfranchised Twitter users are going to wait and see if the freedom objectives Elon envisions can overcome the current political bias and censorship in place. It likely will, but it may take longer. There will be a rush from the conservative zealots and political activists to return to their 2015, 2016, kill Hillary ways of leveraging Twitter for what it's good at, unfiltered debate. Twitter's existing cancel culture will not go silently into that good night, though. Expect more venom as the embedded and entitled ideologues realize their days of impunity are coming to an end. So in the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to start to see improvements in the balance of discussion. Though you may not feel entirely safe expressing your opinions for fear of doxing or canceling if they are not considered mainstream. There will also be an increase in conservative political conversations around the upcoming midterms, and this will result in more pushback from the cancel culture, but less impact than we've seen. And in the long term, you will more freely express yourself as the din of cancel culture fades to a footnote in history. You heard it here first. I think it's safe to say that the purchase of Twitter will be culturally impactful and contribute to a long overdue correction in the breakdown of the virtual town square. Whether you like Elon Musk or not, he is a force to be reckoned with. And he has proven to put his money where his mouth is, and let's face it, he has plenty of it. So what's the takeaway? Musk buying Twitter bodes well for free speech in America and the world. Coupling that with other emerging forces like Truth Social and the general development of more balanced media outlets, we're going to see a shift away from wokeness. We will also see more corrections in both media and big corporations like AT&T, whose wokeness forced them to remove the right-wing OAN network from its DirecTV service, much to the outrage of many who are now cutting the cable. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention what's going on with Disney in Florida. Disney's inability to avoid expressing their corporate wokeness regarding gender, much to the dismay of their primary customer base, is just plain stupid business. Alienating parents that are already reeling from the impact of their children being locked up and homeschooled for more than 2 years on COVID lockdown makes no sense unless you're an absolute moron. Fail again with this thing, I'll have to talk to my producer. It's obvious the geniuses at Disney are just beginning to feel the pain, but there's another episode, maybe 2, in there as the saga develops. Listen, I don't always agree or understand some of the things Elon does or says, but then again, I'm not a billionaire. But in the case of buying Twitter, I absolutely do agree. And in closing, at the risk of sounding like a fanboy, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Elon for acting and doing what you believe and not just using words like most of the elites do that don't amount to anything. We encourage your feedback and dialogue to help make this channel valuable for you. Don't miss an episode. Most importantly, comment, give us your feedback. We love to hear it. See you all next time on Tech from the Trenches with Mike Harvey.